Buffalo, and I want to thank you for tuning in and watching the instructional videos for the Swing Buffalo / American Cancer Society Flash Mob. I'm going to start with a little disclaimer, inclusive claimer, and that is if anybody would like to use any portion of this routine, either a piece or the whole routine, you're more than welcome to do that. We have taken pieces from routines like the Shim Sham and the Big Apple, so I highly encourage you to go and YouTube those and see what those routines look like if you think that might be fun. If you're interested in more information about Swing Buffalo, check out swingbuffalo.com or rhythmshuffle.com. Our fall set of workshops and classes is called Rhythm Shuffle, so that's rhythmshuffle.com. The Flash Mob. Join us. Anyone can join. Tell your friends, tell your family. It's open to everyone. There are 2 ways to learn. 1, we're going to have classes on Monday nights at the American Cancer Society office building in Amherst from 7 until 8 o'clock in their boardroom. And on Tuesday nights at the Polish Cadets Hall on the corner of Grant and Amherst. And those will also be from 7 until 8 o'clock. And then after that, Swing Buffalo has a weekly event called Lindy Fix. And so from 8 to 8:30, we have a beginner lesson, no partner needed, no experience needed, nothing, just come and have a good time. We'll teach you everything you need to know. And then 8:30 to 10, we have dancing. And the beginner lesson and the dancing are $4 for the whole evening. So that's one way to come to the classes. The second way to learn, maybe you can't make the classes or you just would like a little more practice, are these videos. So we're going to break down each section of the routine. So you could learn the entire routine without ever coming to the classes. So if you can't make the classes, don't feel like you can't participate. If you have any questions at any point about anything, you can email swingbuffalo@gmail.com or email me directly at iheartswing@gmail.com. That's iheartswing@gmail.com. Now just a couple of notes about the routine. Everybody is going to have a nice pink glove. We're going to wear those on our right hands. And pretty much every time we do something with a hand in the routine that's sort of like out there, with wagging our fingers or hitting a pose or, kicking or whatever, you're probably going to be using your pink gloved hand. Just a little note. The other note, what's kind of cool about this routine is that we're not going to do it in a line. So, there isn't a front and a back. We're going to do it in a circle. We're calling it a circular mob walk. That is the official technical term for it. So that means that everybody in the audience has a front row seat. But if you want to be a little further back, you want people to watch, you can stand a little further in on the circle. If you're feeling really good and you want to show off, you can stand on the outside. The last thing is that you just want to remember that with a flash mob, it's not about the individual movement. It's not about if I do something perfectly or I make a mistake or whatever. It's just about the energy that comes from everybody. So it's the collective movement all together. So don't be afraid. If you've never danced before, you've never done swing dance, give it a try. Just come out, have fun. That's really what this is all about. Just having fun. Woo! And pandemonium! One of the videos, that'll make sense. Kate. I'm Serenity. And I'm Sylvie. And we're from Swing Buffalo, and we're going to demo for you the entire Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob dance. We're in a little bit of a tight space here, so we're going to try and keep everything on camera for you. If somebody disappears into the ether, I promise we'll come back. The whole routine is performed in a circle. And so it's a little tough with 3 people to really demonstrate that feeling, but we're going to attempt to do it in a circle so that you can see. Obviously, when we have, 100 people, it's going to be a lot different. You're going to have lots of rows instead of just one row. It'll be a lot cooler, but we're going to do our best to be as cool as possible for you. And here is the routine.
Gather round me. that's what I'm again. If you wanna hear my story, then settle back and just sit tight while I start reviewing the attitude of doing right. You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, have faith, a pandemonium's liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between.
And that's the flash mob. We hope to see you at the rehearsals. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Kate.
I'm Serenity.
And I'm Sylvie. And we're from Swing Buffalo, and today we're here at Ashker's Juice Bar on Elmwood Avenue. And we're recording some instructional videos for the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob. So here's section 1 of the Flash Mob. So this section is a really nice intro because you're going to be walking around and you're going to have an idea that the music is starting, but it's hard to know exactly when it starts. So you may or may not hear those first notes. So if you do, great. On that first hit on 4, you're just going to put your hands straight up in the air. And if you want, you can bend one knee. You don't have to. I just like to. Okay? And if you don't hear it, you're going to see everybody do this. And you're going to know that the next one is coming. So then on the next musical hit, which is on 8, you're just going to go straight out to the side. And if you want, you can switch your knees. You don't have to. I just like to. So that's the first count of 8. So then once you're here, you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're going to hear that in the music. The music kind of rises, and then at the end, it's coming down. So you're just squatting down again. If you can't get all the way down to the ground, that's totally okay. It's just for the visual difference. And then once you're down, you're going to hear the music change again. Everything in this routine ties directly to the music. So once you're down, you're going to hear the music change, and you're just going to start pulsing to the beat, okay? And slowly coming up. That's the first count of 8. And You're going to hear that musical part repeat, and we're going to keep going all the way up to here. Okay, so you're going to end by the second count of 8 with your arms all the way over your head. And at this point, everybody, we all started kind of scattered, and we're all coming into what we are officially calling a circular mob block. Okay, so it's not exactly a circle, it's not necessarily going to be one line, it's just going to be kind of a circular block. So you're all moving in, and once you've gotten to here, everybody's going to be all squished into the block. And that's section 1. Here is part 2 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob. Now for this section, I just want you to keep in mind that we are in our circular mob block. We just ended here, and we are facing into the circular mob block. Partway through this section, we're going to be turning around and facing out of the circle towards the audience. So to make this easier to see, Sylvie is going to face back, I will face forward, and Serenity will face to the side, so that way you can see everything from all angles. So here is section 2.
Gather round me.
So arms going down around shoulders. Lean.
Gather round me.
We're squinching in. We're going to start to put our glove on.
Feel a sermon coming on.
Musical hit.
The topic will be sin, and that's what I'm again.
Okay, that's section 2. For this section, what we are doing is we're starting here, and the lyrics are gather round me. So we're going to gather round. Everybody's going to put their arms around everybody, okay, which is 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. We'll try not to fall over. We're all here to support each other. So 5, 6 of everybody, we're leaning this way. 7 and 8 of everybody, we're leaning this way. Okay? Gather around me while I preach some is what comes next, and we're just sort of bringing our arms in and taking out our gloves, and then feel a sermon coming on me. This whole part, we're coming down, and then starting to come back up, and then right after, feel a sermon coming on me. There's that really nice trumpet hit, da 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 da, and on that last hit, you're just gonna peg straight up on that musical hit. Then the next line is, the topic will be sin. Your gloved hand is going straight up, so we've got this nice sort of feathery peacock kind of plume coming up. And that's what I'm again. And the peacock plume is opening up to the outside. And on I'm again, it's just a little, that's what I'm again. Just on I'm again. Okay? So for this, we're up, and you're just following the shoulder with the gloved hand. Right to the outside. And that's section 2. Here is section 3 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob.
If you wanna hear my story, then settle back and just sit tight while I start reviewing the attitude of doing right.
So for this section, we are starting facing out to the audience. Remember, we just did the come around and again. So from here, if you wanna hear my story, you're stepping forward, left foot, then right foot. Stepping forward again, then settle back and just sit tight. And then there's a nice musical stretch here where we come back in. And now we're going into what's called cherry picking. So the line is, while I start reviewing the attitude of doing right. And on start, while I start, you're going to get your elbow up like you're picking the cherries up high. Snap. And then elbow down low. And then up high. And then down low. Okay, so all together. While I start reviewing the attitude of doing, and then right is part of the next section. Thank you. This is section 4 of the American Cancer Society Swing Buffalo Flash Mob. So we ended the last section down here in the cherry picking. So for this section, like I said, we're starting down here in the cherry picking, and then the tempo changes. And so we're just gonna clap out the tempo change, just to help us, get our bearings. And then we're gonna do cherry picking again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then from here, there's a really awesome kind of like in the music. And so we're just gonna do a nice little windmill down to the ground. And then you're gonna hear bump, 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 bump with the saxophone, and you start coming up on that, and there's a nice saxophone hold. Bump, bump. So on the first of those hits is when you're gonna go out. So you're just coming up slowly, bringing your arms in the little X kind of thing, and then out on that musical hit. And that's section 4. Here is section 5 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob.
Accentuate the positive eliminate the negative. Latch on to the hurt. Don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Okay, so what are we doing here? Push-its. These are push-its. So all of this whole section is, we're just doing push-its. So it just looks like this. Just get your knees going like this, just sort of get that nice relaxed movement. That's all that's going on there. So the pattern is you push it and you push it and you cross over and you push it and you push it and you cross over and you push it and you push it and you cross over and you cross over and you cross over. Okay? So if you want to see that with counts instead of words, starting to count it out.
Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. Once you get that down, you're probably going to need to practice that a few times. You can start adding in some styling with your hands. So for the first part, you've got to accentuate the positive. You've got to get a nice little, positive thing going on up here. Like we're reflecting some sunshine, or catching sunshine, something like that. Then for the next one, we're going to eliminate the negative. Okay? And then we're going to latch on to the affirmative. But don't mess with Mr. In Between. Okay? Now, I'm going to warn you, when you start adding the hand styling in, it might throw your feet off a little bit. If it looked like any of us were stumbling earlier, it was just to demonstrate what could possibly happen. So basically, if it's a little difficult at first, this is one of the harder sections. So don't worry about it. Practice it a couple times, and in the end, if you goof a little bit, I did too. It's not the end of the world. Have fun. That's section number 5. Thank you. Here is section 6 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob. And just a warning on this one, we're a little crunched in because of our camera space. So we're going to try not to hit each other. And when you perform this, you should do the same. So we're just going to start where we left off, the crossovers.
You gotta spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum. Have faith, a pandemonium smile to walk upon the scene.
So for this section, we ended in the crossovers, and then we're going to this fun little kickball change. Keep your arms straight without hitting Serenity. So a kickball change, for those of you who have danced before, that might be familiar. For those of you who have not danced before, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're going to kick with your right foot, then put the ball of your right foot down, and change the weight to your left foot. So kick with your right, ball of your right, change the weight on the left. So kick, ball, change. Kick, ball, change. Kick, ball, change. Kick, ball, change. So you can practice that a bunch of times until you feel comfortable. And the way it fits into the pattern here is you're going to do a kick, ball, change, and then 5 steps with your knees in. And if you can get this cool little, like, swishy thing with your feet, your feet slide, that's okay. Otherwise, just step, 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 step. Okay, so it's going to look like this. So kick, ball, change, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the 6th step, you're just going to step out. Okay? So you can add in the arms to this that are going to, just go straight down. So it's going to look like kick, ball, change, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. Okay? Now the next part, from here, we're just going to go floor, floor, hip, hip, mess around. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Today, I'm hitting floor, floor. But I don't always hit floor, floor. Sometimes I hit air, air, hip, hip. Sometimes I hit knee, knee, hip, hip. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So if you feel good and you feel like going floor, floor, hip, hip, mess around, that's great. But otherwise, hit the air, hit your knees, whatever's comfortable. So we've got kick, ball, change, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, open, floor, floor, hip, hip, mess around. Now we're going to do boogie forwards. So boogie forward is just a nice little rounded out kick. Okay? So it's just, these are just boogie forwards right here. Okay? So we're sort of swooshing out to the side. You get a little hip action in there if you feel like it. These are boogie forwards. You get your arms in there. You can snap if you want. If it's too much, you can just sort of hold them up above your head, pulse a little bit. Okay? So those are boogie forwards. So we're going to do 3 boogie forwards. So we're going to go right, left, right, and then breeze in the knees, okay? And your musical cue for that is pandemonium. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pandemonium. That's my favorite part of this whole routine, by the way. I fully expect everybody to be out there. Pandemonium! I'm waiting to hear it. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pandemonium. Now we're going to do that again, except with the left foot. Left, right, left, and then we're going to do a break step. And all the break step is just a little hop onto the right foot. We're just changing our weight. Okay, so it's going to be 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so that whole section all together, one more time, is going to look like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is section 7 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob. Thank you. Here is section 7 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob. Or, as Patrick and Natasha would say, for those of you who are keeping tracks, this is section 7.
To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark?
Okay, so this might look a little tricky, and for those of you who have danced before, you probably recognize that first move we were doing, the grapevine. And for those of you who have never danced before, never fear. It is actually not as hard as it looks. So we started on the right foot. So remember we had the break. So basically you only have one thing that you can do with this foot, and that's put it down. So take your left foot, put it behind your right foot, and then open up. Left foot in front of your right foot. Open up. Behind, open. In front, open. Behind, open. And that's how you do a grapevine. So practice that a couple of times, and when you feel comfortable, come back to this video, and Serenity is going to explain to us how to fit that into the choreography for this routine.
and we'll fit it into the music. So we start on our break step, which is 7-8, and then we'll go into 7-8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then if we do that with the music, it'll go something like this. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. Okay.
Excellent. So, we just finished, to illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do? What did they do? They did skating. Exactly. What did they do? What did they do? We're just skating. And all skating is, you're going to put your weight on your left foot and you're just going to kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. Little hops. That's all. Hand in the air. It just looks cool. So, what did they do? Now just step with your right foot into a sort of kind of half lunge when everything looked so dark and gaze afar. Okay, so that part all together. What did they do when everything looked so dark? And then there's a nice bum, bum. Nice little musical hit there. Okay? So let's just show you that whole thing all together from the front, and then we'll turn around and we'll show it to you from the back so you can see it from both directions. I'll let you count this out.
Okay, so we'll start. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the end.
Yeah, that's all the bum. Yes, but you don't really have to worry about the counts for that. Just listen to the music. Okay, so we're just going to show that to you from the back.
Oh, we're going to have to move that way.
Oh.
Excuse us. Okay.
So,
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
all right, and that is section 7. Thank you.
Reels this time.
Yes. Here is section 8 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob.
Man, they said we better and said you went fun and eat.
Push it and cross over. Push.
Latch on to these birds. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Okay, this should look familiar to you. So for the first 4 counts of 8 of this, go back and check out section 5. It's the exact same thing. The only thing that's different here is that last count of 8 that we added on, which she repeats, no, don't mess with Mr. In Between, because you really don't want to. But what you do want to do are marionette kicks. So marionette kicks just look like this. So you're just hopping back and forth. There's a little double hop on each foot. Nice and loose, bent at the knees. If you feel like it, you can get this sort of hip rotation in. Or if that's too tricky or you just don't like it, you can just, in one place, you can shake your head around a little bit. Just get your whole body going. Just have fun with it. That's all. Okay? So it's just a count of 8 of that for the no, don't mess with Mr. In Between. And that is section 8. Here's section 9 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Mob. So we just finished the marionette kicks. Please, yay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2. 5, 6, 7. Nose, tail, 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 tail. Okay, so this section is really awesome. It's 20s Charleston, which might seem really intimidating at first. But we're just going to break it down. So, to start, we're not going to worry about arms, anything crazy. Just want you to stand like this, and with your right foot, just touch forward, middle, back, middle. Forward, middle, back, middle. And just keep practicing this. Okay, you can do it in the kitchen, you can do it in the bathroom, you can do it when people you live with aren't home, maybe when they are home, maybe in public restrooms. But basically just, just get comfortable with this. And then when you're comfortable, you can start adding in this little rounded step. So it's the same movement, you're just making it round. Okay, so front, middle, back, middle. Front, middle, back, middle. Okay? So the first 2 counts of 8 are just this movement. Okay? Then the next part, we're going to add in a nose and a tail. Okay? So what they look like, you've got nose, tail. Just sweep with your knee, sweep with your foot. Nose, tail. Sweep with the knee, sweep with the foot. Okay, so we're just practicing the moves that we're going to be using. Okay, and then the last one is what I call a tail turn. And we're just going to use that tail motion. We're just going to do it 4 times to turn all the way around in a circle. So tail, 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 tail. So 4 tails we went around in a circle. Might take a little bit of practice.
Where's our right?
Yes, to the right side. Absolutely. And what you do with your arm on that is totally up to you. Serenity does this super cute little Betty Boop kind of thing. Mine's a little bit bigger. It's more like a crop duster, like a propeller on a plane.
Mine's right in between.
Sophie's always adorable. So you can do whichever one you feel comfortable. So let's just do this whole thing all together with the counts, 4 counts of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nose, 2, 3, 4, tail. And then tail, 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 tail. And that is section number 9. Thank you. Here is section 10 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Model. Light, easy kicks. So for the first count of 8, there's 4 count of 8s here. For the first count of 8, some of you are going to grab a partner and just kick in a partner. Then the second count of 8, grab a new partner. The third count of 8, everybody is solo on their own. And then for the last count of 8, we're all going back to our circular mob shape. Now for the first part with the partners, we're going to aim for having probably 2/3 of the people partnered up and 1/3 kicking solo, and then swap partners. So that way, at all times, it's sort of half, single partners kicking, single people kicking, and then half partners kicking. So it'll look nice and balanced, and that way if the numbers aren't totally even, nobody has to worry about not having a partner, because that's always me. I think it's because I smell.
Like you broke the sleep.
Absolutely. So that is section 10. Here is section 11 of the Swing Buffalo American Cancer Society Flash Model.
To illustrate my last remarks, Joe in the brain, no in the arm. What did they do just when everything looked so dark?
So that ought to look really familiar to you. And if you'd like to see the breakdown again for that, just head on back to section 7.
This is a real 7.
Here is section 12 of the American Cancer Society Flash Model.
Man, they say prevent and accentuate the positive healing. Might connect, latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between.
So this, again, should look nice and familiar. If you would like to see the breakdown again, then head on back to section 5. Thank you. Here is says, no, don't mess with Mr. In Between. We're going to do boogie backs. So boogie back is just kick, kick. So it's kind of like the kickball change that we did, except we're moving backwards. Clap. Boogie back, boogie back, boogie back, boogie back. Okay, so we're doing 4 of those. So a count of 8 of marionette kicks, 4 boogie backs. And then we're going to turn around 1.5 times. Okay? So we started facing this way. We come around, we face this way again, and then we keep going and we face towards the inside of our mob blob. Okay, remember this is our mob blob here. And then we're just going to run straight leg into the mob blob. And then you're going to hear the music on that final swell. And you're going to turn around, and there are 2 hits at the end. It goes bump, bump. On the first hit, we just want to hit a level, okay? So see, we're all sort of staggered. And then on the second hit, you want to put your gloved hand out in some sort of way that is going to help create volume. Okay, we're trying to just have this big explosion of pink at the end. Okay, so just to see that whole section again, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boogie back, boogie back, boogie back, boogie back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,